Okay. Going with the next attempt to record part 2 of showing old artwork. I've done this multiple times now. And I finally decided to just take what I wanted to show and organize it. Because the problem was I was too disorganized. So I've decided to just like this. This right here. Ugh, this cat fur. I'm sorry, it's all visible. There we go. There we go. That's a bit better. But yes, this is it. And then there will be a part 3 for the last part later on. And then I think that'll be it. So, starting off this one. Here we go. Starting off with this one. Yeah. I remember where I was when I was doing this one. I was in the lunchroom, and I was very tired. This was in high school, and I was exhausted from doing classes, and my one very good friend was sitting next to me, and he looked away for 5 minutes, and I determined it was just the Vegeta one at the time. He looked away for 5 minutes, and then I had drawn that. Yeah, I still love this one. It still gets me. But anyway, there's this one here. It's a little sticky note. We've got Cat and Pancake from the Why Do We Have Eyes? I discussed that idea a little while ago. But yeah, it's her looming over him. He's nervous. She's probably going to do something violent to him. Or at least threatens, so let's see. What do we have next? We got this guy. This is an Oni, or an ogre. Creature of some sort. He's got those little beady eyes. You can only see the colored part with the pupils. And then just some, like, anime girl stuff. Practicing with faces. Oh, yeah! I got this old reminder thing that I made myself a long time ago. I kept it, though. It's really cute. Now this, the Book of Concepts, this only looks impressive. In truth, there's only about like 4 pages in this whole thing all filled out. So starting off with this one. Check that out. Yeah. Eating some sea salt ice cream from Kingdom Hearts. That's a character from somewhere that actually exists. I remember that much. I'd probably reuse this set piece for something. I like it. And I wasn't fond of how I drew his face, so I remember years later I went ahead and redrew his face right here. Yep, there he is. Let's see. Yes. I found a piece of art that I liked on DeviantArt when I drew this. This was a long while ago. Unfortunately, I lost the bookmark that had the artist who made this. So, now all I have is this thing that I based off of that reference. But no actual link to the artist. So hopefully one day I can find it. I want to reuse that sort of style that it has going on. More of that old anime look. Old manga, old anime look. Trying to think of what I could use it on. But not right now. I can think of that later. I don't know. If you can find the reference, if anyone seeing this can find what I based that on and share me the link, I'd love to find it again. Anyway, so we got the siblings Grimm here before. These were all characters for a specific world I had created. Yep, you got the siblings Grimm, you got their whole design thing is like these swirls. I'd probably reuse them for something. Ooh. This character is also a part of that world. Her name is Duffy Mogui. Yep. She was the warden of a prison called Killer Epic, or Epoch, EPOCH. You can say it either way. Her ear is weird. But other than, and like the rest of her is weird, but the face, I managed the face. This character, I think she's a vampire. I remember I did a similar character once who was like a gorgon or like a snake, but I'm pretty sure this character is supposed to be a vampire. And this is another piece of art right here that I based off of a reference from an artist I really liked, but with some changes to the hair and all that. I think that Ma something was the artist who made the piece that I based this off of, that I was using very heavily as reference. Like, same face and eyes. I looked at it, and then I tried to redraw it as closely as possible. It was like Mog. M-O-G. I think that's what it was, now that I'm thinking about it. And this was drawn years later. This is actually very recent. I decided to at least give this book one more chance at life. So, this was actual concept for a game idea in which there's like a rock, paper, scissors pendant. And it's got these 3 jewels inside of it. And it's got rock, paper, and scissors. And so this is like the main character's version of that. There's the doctor who made it. And then you have other characters who had their own versions of that sort of rock, paper, scissors artifact. So they have, the 2 of them, they have staves or canes. And it would show the rock, paper, scissors symbol. Yeah. I'm pleased with how they came out, the 2 of them. Standing back to back, that sort of pose. Let's see, is there anything else in this sketchbook? You know, I feel so much better having planned out this thing. That's a secret. That stuff in the back. You can't know about that. I feel so much better since I decided to, like, make a pile, organize. Let's see. What do we got here? Ah, yes. This was for that very first world idea that I had. These are the Dark Hunters. Hired bounty hunters who live in that universe. I tried to redraw them. You know, give them some updates as far as I could back in middle school. And so this is how they ended up coming out. They're... it's alright. I could try again and give them another redesign. Oh, and speaking of, here's me being unsatisfied and trying it another time. The Dark Hunters. I like the idea of them. I do. And this was a world idea, a story. It's Loco Roco. It's basically Loco Roco, but just me doing it on my own. Yeah. Me drawing more maps. Yeah. Fictional map. Just for fun. I don't think this one was actually really supposed to even be for anything. It was just I wanted to draw a map. So I did. And this is... These were in the last part. These were people who... Again, it's the Demon Crown from Cave Story. So, basically. Of course, you know, I gave it a slightly different name. But, the idea is that it's basically the... that character's name is Bruce. He's got a whole thing behind him. Anyway. Yeah, basically, Demon Crown from Cave Story. It's got its whole thing. And this was another reminder that I made myself. Close the bathroom door. Yeah. And kept it. No reason to throw it out. Ooh, I remember this. Okay. So this was some This was later in high school. This was some concept art I made for an illustration that I did. It's a slight mix of Air Gear and Jet Set Radio. Yeah. I really like this. Especially the eyes right there. Yeah, I'd probably want to use those eyes again. Anyway. Sorry, sometimes I just like look at it and it's like, oh yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Oh yeah. Here it is. This was for the whole composition. Yeah. Let's see. What's on this card? Blank. Okay. Let's see. Oh, what's this? Is there anything on this? Not worth it. It's not it's just a little scribble, a sketch, but it only looks all right. Not worth watching. But this I am very proud of. Yes, this is all this stuff. These cards right here, they're high school stuff. I love this one. I remember doing this one. I was in film class in high school. The broadcast class where we made like our school newsletter news show broadcast every Friday to the whole school. I did 24 episodes on a series for that. But anyway, I love these character designs. I definitely want to reuse these. Or not reuse them, they never got used in the first place. I definitely want to use these for something. The winter music. It's always the loudest. Turn that down. I got a spiffy browser that has no ads. It's excellent. That design right there, especially. Like these three right here. Cream of the crop. I'd want to use those for something. And more composition. You got a guy pointing upward. He's got a bike in the background, pointing up to a floating machine in the sky. Yeah. Let's see, what do we got here? What is this? A car? I think this is a car. Yeah, some sort of van. A minivan. There's that composition from earlier, but closer up. Different poses. Even got that, like, legs toward the screen angle. Yeah, for pretty much all of them. I managed. Well, I didn't manage. I practiced a lot. Let me not, put myself down here. I practiced it enough that I should know how to do it. Yeah. Just looking. Yeah. And then that angle there. The legs. It would start with a line right there, then a circle, then a line, and then the leg. Same with that one. And then that one. That one was just like, started with the end of the foot, moved it inward. Get the angle right. Yeah. Very proud of that. Very proud of that. Let's see. Blank. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. It's just the cover of a sketchbook, but torn off. Yeah, you got these faces here. More practicing in different styles and looks. I'm very happy with how these turned out. Especially this one right here. And this one right here. Nice smile expression. And this one here. And cat face. I know exactly which character this is. I think we might end up seeing her later in one of these pages here. So let me put that over here. I'm gonna mix all these up to make the thumbnail in a little bit. Ah, yes. This very cartoony cat. Big chomper teeth. More. Did I show this last time? I may have shown this last time. I don't remember if I did. Yep. Some manga idea that I had, a comic idea, and basically just planning out covers for it. Hurricane. Oh yeah, sour sweets. I'll have to talk about sour sweets eventually. Ah, yeah. Uh, bunch of guys sitting in stands while this character's talking. Giant robot mech, like going down a slope with a city in the background. Oh, I still want to make this composition. Yep. Other things over here, a bit of concept art. Oh yeah, the Holy Cavalcade. Different things. Yeah, put that over here. And this is, well, it says it right here on the thing. This character right here. Her name is Vespartine. She is the daughter, the hypothetical daughter of two characters that I made, named Ace and Vashti. If they had a daughter, yeah, if they had a daughter, this is what she would look like, and her name would be Vespartine. I was very happy with this. She's the perfect mix of the two of them into one face. Like, I really managed that. Now, I guess we're past that. So this was, I remember these, or at least this one. I drew this when I was in college during like online courses. I just kind of, when I knew what the material was, I was going for just like shading, over shading, grotesque realism. So check that out. Yeah, just like lots of shading on the hand. And these little creatures here. I like these little creatures. I would definitely want to use them in something. And then her, like, overly realized nose and grotesque lips. It just like, the whole point is that everything is just overdone. Now this, on the other hand, I'm not as fond of this one. Not the face, anyway. The glove. That's a nice glove. Maybe even the hair as well. But the face? Nah. No, that face ain't it. Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, yes. This is an old one. Middle school. This was the very first comic I ever drew. Yep. It's all on this one page, too. The entire comic. You got, her name is Blue, and she's listening to The Girl from Ipanema on her headphones. And then there's an evil ramen noodle head bowl robot who starts going crazy and attacking because he got taken over by another character who hacked into his system and made him go haywire. And then she's barely paying attention. Her finger pops open, shoots a laser through him, blows up, and then he gets upset. He pulls out his knives, tries to do a cool slash, but she is so quick that she moves behind him. And then, there we go. She punches him in the head. His head cracks against its like ceramic glass surface, punches a hole right through him. He falls over, dead. Yes, no regard. She's a little she's a little unconcerned, especially when it comes to matters of violence and combat. That's a very consistent thing, though, that I keep with her. She's very unconcerned, to put it lightly. Oh, and this was something I drew as a submission once. I never finished it, sadly. You got a guy who's a giant right there, and then you got this group over here. Yep, all in pencil. Yeah, that was later on. Never finished that one. And this one too. I'm very proud of this one. Yep. All in pencil. I'm very glad with how the hair turned out. with the shading and the shading on this penguin too, and on the hands as well, and on the sword. Look at that. Got the wrap, and then you got the hilt. You got the flower wrapping around it, and then the sword itself bends into different shapes, really soft shading. Yeah. I still really like that one. That one's actually done. Like, that's in its final state. And this was the composition for that one you just saw, with the giant. There was going to be, like, an army moving across the screen with him in the background holding up his son. Yeah. Well, let's see. I'll show this one next. This drawing I did. Overly fleshy, flabby-looking dinosaur. But it got that little cute little guy in the middle. And then here we have, from an assignment of drawing elements as characters, periodic elements. This was for a middle school science class. This wasn't my character, but, you know, I went a little over and decided to draw more than, you know, I had to. You know, I would reuse elements of this design, especially, like, these sections right here. Leading up to his head. Don't know who that is. That's just a guy. And I remember with this one, I drew him with one wing and then a broken wing, and then I was like, actually, I think I want him to have his wing, so gave him one. There, kind of sloppily. It's a radon. The element radon. Oh yes, and this was for an art class, composition ideas based on some objects that I own, which was like amiibos and little figurines. So the idea was like bring them in and then create a composition based off of them. So this was one of the ideas. They're trying to pull a lollipop out of Kirby's mouth. Yeah, and then there's this one here. Then there's this one. And then we got this one down here. There's this one. And then this one down here. I have the actual finished one. Like, there was an actual art piece that was finished of this. Where do I have that? I think it's in that big bag. Yeah, I'll have to show that later. Let's see. Oh, yes. And then we had to further abstract it based on elements of it. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, and this was a comic that I drew for an English class. I think the assignment was just to make up words, but then have the visuals kind of convey what the made-up words meant. Yeah, middle school type stuff. And this, ooh, this was made for an ink assignment. I wonder if it'll even be visible. This is scratch glass. It's like slightly visible. Here, let me see if this will work. Can you see the face? Yeah. Oh, here, let me point up at this light. You can see the face. You roll ink on that, and then you like press it on the paper, and it creates the image. I have the original sketch somewhere. Yeah. That is a character from that world I mentioned earlier with Ace and Vashti. Her name is Toy Joy, but her actual name is Akira. But she goes by the nickname Toy Joy. Let's see. We got this right here. Just like grotesque, overly shaded creature. We got this. I don't really like this. I don't like the face. I like the shading, I just don't like the face. Yeah. It's because I know what I was going for, and it just didn't work out. Yeah. Again, I like the knowing what I was going for and then not reaching it. You know, that one isn't as... These were more tired drawings I drew during lunchtime. Yeah. Different, like, campaigns going on at school. People were asked to draw posters. I wasn't asked to, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. And then I made this. That's Brian Griffin right there. And then, oh yeah, this one. I remember. Some lunch ladies saw this one. The Lion King, Lone King, Sambo's Revenge. You got Simba, or Sambo, as he's called here. Just grotesque. And there's Skur. And there's Mustafar. And the background. Yeah. I had a Sharpie. No pencil. That was the rule. And just come up with stuff. Yeah. And just practicing drawing things in grotesque. So you got Timon there. you got Pumbaa. you got not Sans, Papyrus over there. Yeah. And then there's Sans right there. And then there's Hector, or Vector, whatever his name is, from Despicable Me. And then there's JJ the Jet Plane. Yeah. And then here's Sonic. Right here. Yeah. And then here we have... Oh. It's Kirby. It's like, oh. It's like a wad of chewed gum. Oh, this was going to be the cover to one of my... You know that comic I showed you just a few seconds ago? This was some of those characters redrawn. Oh, this is old and it's fading. But it's the characters, like, sitting in, like, a jungle area with washing machines. Is there a way to get this a little more clear? Yeah. And the paper isn't the greatest either. Oh, man. Got a little character there. That character's name is Kid Chimera, if I remember correctly. Got machinery. Trying to get it to show up a little better. A little hard to see, but I think it gets the point across enough. Yeah. It's rough. It's torn. It's falling apart, but thankfully I've got photos of it. And, now there's video proof that it existed. And then here we have Cell. Dragon Ball. And him in his various forms. Oh, boy. He's got a bowling ball in his head. He's just very flabby. What is this? Is this even worth seeing? Let's see. Yeah. Doing this with one hand. Give me just a sec. Almost there. This is rough. Is this even worth seeing? It's alright. It's nothing special. Nothing special. But, yeah, there's this. Old middle school stuff. Oh, this was me drawing during college more, just like overly realistic, hyper shading. I like this face though. I'm very fond of it. Yep. No, little rabbit sleeping in the background. Let's see. We got this guy. He's an adventurer. Trying out a different style during that time. Gave it a go. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, yeah! Copy paper, or tracing paper. I got it. I got tracing paper at least once. Another drawing I'm not very fond of, even though there are lots of things I like about it. Let me see if I can get it a little more uncreased. There we go, that's a bit better. I like the face. I like the energy of it. And the hand as well. Good hand going shh. The curly hair. Yeah. I like it overall, I would say. Just like, you know, one of those things where like it wasn't my goal quite, so I've got some feelings about it. They're just kind of left over. There we go. Let's see if I can get it a little clearer. Well, that's probably the best I'm going to get. Yeah. I like it, though. I mean, I would say in the end I do... In the end, I do still like it. And, let's see, what else we got here? Ah, some faces. Yeah. I like that face right there. That old man's face. Out of all the faces on here, that old man is probably my, my favorite one. There we go. Yep, different faces. Not my favorite, but I still like those. Oh yeah, and this was compositional work. Trying out different styles. Yeah, one of those projects that I tried that didn't really go anywhere, sadly. Just noticed this is still kind of here. I like the look of that. I don't know why I erased that. Or, actually, I don't think I erased it. I think the sketch work is just so light that it faded. Yeah, bit of a longer face. Very pretty almond-shaped eyes. I think I'll use that later on. You got a amplifier. But it had to be a fantasy-type amplifier. So it has, like, a tree growing out the top of it. Yep. Move that over there. Ah, this was based off... Again, I never can find the artist, but this was based off of a pop art related thing. I remember this character. She's an Oni who was captured and they tried to, like, execute her. So hence the floating limb sections. But, you know, she's kind of immortal, so it didn't work. And she, like, grew more hands, and they just kind of float around and carry her stuff. I like the character. Probably use that for something else. Ah, yes. I mentioned this earlier, that cat character. Yes. Did I show this last time? I feel like I might have shown this last time. I get the feeling I might have. Yeah. Strawberry. There's supposed to be a bit of juice leaking out at the end of that spear. Yeah. I really like the visual design of this. I would probably reuse this somewhere. This, like, aesthetic. Yeah. I would definitely reuse this sort of, like, heart thing. The way that they're kind of growing inside of the sphere, and then it creates, like, two sides. Yeah. And then there's this one. I would choose, like, a color and then kind of go for it. Yeah. There we go. I think the music might disappear soon. Don't tell me you're low battery already. I should have brought the charger with me, but I did not. You know what, it's fine. Got that. And then there's some additional stuff here. Like, let's see what else we got here. We got this Red Riding Hood character who's like Red Riding Hood and the wolf, like a werewolf Red Riding Hood. She's got the sharp claws, teeth. Then we got this little robot guy who's supposed to be like part of that same. The idea of the. It was an idea for an arcade fighter, basically. So you'd have like a Red Riding Hood werewolf character, and then you'd have this sort of like turnkey based robot. Yeah. Oh, you got this beastie right here. Yep. Been going for about 38 minutes now. You know, I probably will pause. Been going for a little bit. Let's say once my thing dies and the music ends. Here's Frieza. Very, he's something. And we got this one here. I feel like I showed this already, didn't I? I get the feeling that I did. Yeah, I did. I showed these already, didn't I? Oh, there the music went. That's okay. I feel like these ones I showed off already. From the last one. Unless that was just a previous attempt of me doing this. But you got Luffy here. It was a One Piece Monster Hunter crossover art that I tried to draw. Oh, the more of those grotesque drawings that I did during college. Overshading. Yep. I like the bead in her hair. You see how it kind of has that like multi-layer thing in the texture? Yeah. Shiny, you got these characters here. That little insect guy right there with like the jelly shoulder pads. I really like that. And then you got that little robot guy right there. You can see like the 3D-ness on his like cheek spot. His robo cheeks. And then let's see. This one. Exaggerated expressions. I love this little cone guy. I like his pose. He's got like the one foot slightly lifted up. Yeah. And then you've got this sort of like warping headpiece on her hair. Yeah. I really like that. I really like that one still. Even though these are like weird and off-putting, I still really like them. You got this guy here. This is an important character for something. His name is Gesticulon. I really like his design, especially like the smooth part of his head. Let's see, was there anything else? Oh yeah, there were a few more, weren't there? You got this right here. You got more creepy critters. Grotesque, kind of overshaded. Looks like I'm almost done with this. There's King Crimson from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but also overdone. Yeah. I was in a certain state of mind at the time to just do grotesque things. This wasn't one of those. It's just a robot. Let's see. You got this guy here. Kind of an alien creature. Yep. I mean, it gave me a better feel for doing, like, more three-dimensional faces and drawings and stuff like that. It certainly did. Like, look at this creature. It's got, like, these weird legs. Kind of like tubes, organic-y. It's got, like, a squirrel tail. A head. I remember the idea is that its head... That's not actually its head. That's like a... It kind of has the texture of, like, an acorn or a nut. And then the idea is that the main character has like a hammer and they smack it in the face and then it opens up its face and you see what's actually inside. But that's just like a false face right there. It's not actually its face. And you got this guy right here. Like a cartoony spider guy. He's got this big pwoof around his neck. And he's got like these, his like leg is mutating. Got this fuzzy hand too. Fuzzy hand, and then you got like these claws right here, and his arm is also mutating. Yeah, his whole thing is like he got exposed to something and it's mutating him. Okay, I'm looking at what I have left. And I see that I'm 43 minutes in. Okay, so I think I'll pause here for today and call that part 2. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I'm sorry I ran out of music right at the end. My thing died and I forgot to grab the charger. But yeah, I'll stop there for now and continue on next time.